David Gregory is the moderator of Meet the Press. Good morning to you, David.
Hey, Natalie. How are you?
I'm great. Let's start with a little bit of your reaction to what you just heard from Bob Woodward. First, not dealing with the sequester issue just yet, but rather on this issue of pushback from the White House and from other administrations. I imagine over the years in the White House press corps, you've had your share of nasty emails and phone calls.
Right. Yes, I've heard some nasty stuff, and Bob Woodward has heard a lot of nasty stuff that goes beyond this, for sure, over his 40 years. Look, a couple of things. Obviously, Bob in his reporting has staked out some very clear ground here where he's challenging the administration. The administration doesn't like it, and you've seen this pushback. All administrations push back hard, especially when they're dealing with a high-octane reporter and a top-notch reporter like Bob Woodward. So that's just a reality in Washington, and that's not a tension that's bad. OK, people should want that out of a press corps, particularly covering the White House at any particular level. I think there's a larger issue here, too, and that is that the president does not particularly like the Washington press corps. And I think that feeling is mutual in a lot of respects. And so there's not a great relationship between that Washington establishment and the president. That, too, by the way, is not unprecedented. So I think some of these tensions play out, particularly because I've seen this firsthand. The president, a lot of the president's advisors are frustrated that they feel they don't get the credit they deserve for the willingness to compromise they see on the president's end that they do not see reciprocated on the part of Republicans.
Right. Well, now to the sequester issue, and it appears now it's all but inevitable at 11:59 p.m. tonight. Those cuts are going to go into effect. What happens next? Because as we heard House Speaker John Boehner say yesterday, you know, it's now closed. It's an issue that's now closed. It's up to the Senate. We saw the Senate absolutely did nothing yesterday with this. They managed to fail on two competing bills. So what happens now?
Well, nothing immediately, and that's a key point. They're going to meet today at the White House, as you heard Matt discussing with Bob Woodward, congressional leaders and the president. Nothing is going to come of this meeting. The president is going to make his case that the Republicans are being unreasonable, that they ought to consider revenues as part of tax reform, and actually apply those to the deficit. They're not going to do that. You know, certainly there'll be effects of this if you work for the military and you could be furloughed. If you have a child who's in Head Start, some 70,000 could get kicked out of Head Start. But the truth is that this will be a rolling set of impacts that won't really be evident until over the next 30 days, and not everybody will be affected. I think there's going to be a certain amount of waiting to see how big the political outcry becomes before either side moves.
All right, David Gregory, thanks. And, of course, we're going to be seeing you on Sunday on Meet the Press, and I know you have House Speaker John Boehner on as your guest. Thanks, David.